Today we're taking a look at the saddest thing imaginable, a Japanese cartoon about kids growing up. Welcome to another Thorgi mini review, and last week 2016's biggest movie in Japan finally received a nationwide release here in America, and after a week I can finally talk about without weeping uncontrollably, so let's take a look at Your Name. This is the story of a boy in Tokyo, Taki, and a girl living far out in the country, Mitsuha. And Mitsuha hates growing up that far from the city. She wants to leave, and one day she gets her wish when she wakes up in Taki's body. She thinks it's a dream until she returns to her own body the next day and finds out that Taki was in her body. Over the course of the next few days, they keep swapping bodies back and forth until they realize what's happening and they begin to leave notes for each other. Slowly, they get to know one another and they decide that while this might not be a very ideal situation, they're just going to try and make the best of it. For example, Taki helps Mitsuha act more assertive at school, while Mitsuha helps Taki get to know a female employee he has a crush on. However, after so many weeks and months of this, the two of them actually start to fall for each other. But just as they begin to realize their feelings, a strange twist gets thrown into their relationship. Well, actually, I guess uncontrollably swapping bodies is already kind of a strange twist, but a new development occurs, and I won't spoil that for you because it is indeed a jaw-dropping realization. And on that note, pretty much the rest of the movie is spoiler material, but I can say the first third of the film, the opening act, when we see them swapping bodies and starting to get to know each other, I liked it. I thought it was sweet with some humorous moments, but I had some problems with it. I thought it was kind of rushed. We run through these days far too quickly, and because of that, the realization of what's happening seems to come on way too soon, and so does the relationship between the two of them. It develops far too quickly. This whole connection that they have is basically built up over the course of one massive montage, and while I did love these two characters, I wasn't getting the connection to them that I needed. I wasn't really seeing that bond forming between the two of them. Plus, because everything happens over a montage and it moves so fast, I didn't really get any sense of how much time was passing. Were they swapping bodies for months? A year? I feel like information like that was kind of important, especially later in the film. And I hate saying this, but there were all kinds of plot holes I was picking up on, and it wasn't just me. I heard a lot of people in the theater saying to their friends after the credits ended the exact same questions that I had. Now, that being said, when this movie gets past the first act, when it starts focusing on just specific characters and the big twist goes down, this movie becomes amazing. Yes, I had some problems with the journey, but the destination was perfect. As I said, I didn't really buy these two characters falling in love, but I totally bought that they were in love. The second and third act are nothing but just raw emotions between these two characters, fighting and struggling to find some way to be together and some way to deal with, well, the giant massive spoiler that I'm not going to mention, and every bit of that is golden. When you see them confessing their feelings for each other, it hits you right in the heart. When you see them fighting as hard as they can to try and bring people together, it makes you want to cheer. And when this movie wants to make you cry, it is going to make you cry. I literally had to take a break from writing this script because just thinking back on this movie started to make me weepy-eyed all over again. Call me whatever you want in the comments down below. I don't care. I'm not a robot. You make a damn good movie, I'm gonna cry at it. And yes, I had problems with the pacing and other elements of the script at the beginning, but towards the end, this script is on point. So many elements of the story from the beginning come back and completely pay off. Every relationship that Mitsuha and Taki have developed comes back. The relationship between Mitsuha and her family comes back. A weird scene that you'll find confusing at the beginning of the film comes back, and you will totally understand it and love that scene after it does. Heck, even a running gag about Taki being a pervy teenage boy comes back to be one of the most emotional moments in this whole movie. I am thoroughly impressed by this script, to the point where I don't even care about all the little plot holes I found in the beginning because, end of the day, they didn't affect the payoff at the end of this film. And yes, the pacing is weird in the beginning. Yes, you're going to ask yourself, why haven't they done this or tried that? But when you get to the actual point of this film, the actual thing you came for, you're going to go through so much joy and sadness and happiness that you won't care. This film was one of the biggest joys I've had at the movies this year, and it's been a damn good year for movies. In fact, there is no way this isn't making it onto my 10 best movies of the year list. And before anyone in the comments says, oh, but technically this movie came out last year, I don't care. This movie could have come out decades ago. I still watched it this year and it was still so good, I'm going to put it on that list. Your Name gets 9.5 out of 10. So there you have it, folks. Thanks for tuning in for another Thorgi mini reviews. Go and check out Your Name. It's playing all over the country right now, both sub and dub. And before anyone says, oh, dubs, I hate dubs, I saw it dubbed, and you know something? The dub is actually really darn good. And if you want to see my spoiler discussion, it's right over there in the corner. And remember, we do spoiler talks and movie reviews every single weekend on this channel. So if you want to see those, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter and Tumblr at Professor Thorgi. Thanks again, everyone, and come back next time.